Hi beauties, welcome back to the Jolie Beauty channel. Today we're going to be showing you how to get a super fast glowy date night look. Have you ever been in that situation where maybe your partner has gone, oh the light's gone. Have you ever been in that situation where your partner has come up to you and gone, come on babe, we're just going out, and you think to yourself, well that's really nice, but I literally have 20 minutes to get ready. This is the kind of look that I would go to in that situation. So it's all about glowing skin, a kind of signature lip. So if you want to find out how to get this look, then just keep on watching. We've also got a giveaway at the end of this video. So if you want to enter that, then make sure you stay tuned. So of course I want gorgeous glowing skin for date night, so I'm going to use the Glow Perfecting Elixir to moisturise and prep my skin for makeup. I'm just going to add a little bit more to my lips. This is the perfect preparation for matte liquid lipstick, which we'll get onto in a little while. So for everyone asking about the Glow restock date, it's looking like it's going to be mid-March. You can sign up on our site for notifications of when it's going to be back in stock. So while I'm waiting for that to sink in a little bit, I'm going to move on to the brows. I'm going to take the Lavara eyebrow gel and I'm just quickly brushing that through my brows just to get all the brow hairs in place. I'm going to take the number 10 eye brush from the Mythical Dreamers brush set and the Jolie Beauty brow pomade in medium ash brown, just to fill in any sparse areas of the brows. At the front of the brows, to make them look a little bit more natural, I just point the brush upwards and create upward strokes like that. And then when I get to the tail of the brow, I get a little bit more heavy-handed and push the pomade into the brow hairs to get a nice defined line. I'm really sorry guys if you can hear any kind of cold on me. I've been super ill, hopefully getting better this week. I think honestly the UK has got the plague at the moment. Is it just me or does everybody seem to be getting really ill this year? Like I think this is like the third time I've had the cold since December, which is absolutely insane. We're hanging on. We'll just start our 2019 in, March or something. Next, I'm going to carve out the brows a little bit. I'm using the Born This Way concealer in the shade Vanilla and the number 6 eye brush. Because we're not going too heavy on the eyeshadow, I'm not going to use a very light colour to do this. I'm really doing it very subtly. That's because I'm not putting anything bright or bold on the eye in terms of eyeshadow. So I'm literally just doing this to clean up the brows. So if I'm in a rush for date night, there's two things that matter to me, and that's lips and liner. They're the two quickest ways to get a look that looks really glam and complete without spending too much time. So I'm not going to spend too much time on eyeshadow. And the number one trick for me, if I'm going to do a look that I want a bit of dimension, but I don't want it to be overcomplicated, is simply to take a bronzer or a really warm eyeshadow just in the crease. Today I'm going to use the Perfectly Sculpted palette and just this shade here with a fluffy brush. This is the number 3 blending brush and I'm just going to take that shade into the crease just to give some dimension to the eye. All you really want to do is just warm up the eye and just add that shadow back that you've taken out with the concealer. You can do this with any kind of bronzer, any warm kind of eyeshadow will do the job, and it's just an easy and quick way to get your eyes ready for a kind of glam look but in a bit of a hurry. Next up I'm taking the shade Flare from the Vivacious palette and I'm picking that up on the number 8 eye brush just to pop that all over the lid. I feel like shimmer shadows always give a bit of glam to a look and they're just really quick and easy to pop on. Also, I don't want anything that's too strong around the eyes because we are going to be going in with liner and also a bold lip. As ever with shimmers or glitters, just make sure you're patting the pigments on and using a flat brush. Anything too fluffy will make it literally impossible for you to apply the shadow. So now I'm on to eyeliner. I'm just using the Illamasqua Precision Gel Liner to line my inner waterline. I'm then taking the same brush and the same liner on the top and I'm going to create a smoky winged liner. First of all, I'm just placing the gel on the outer top edge of the eye. And I'm not being too precise here because I'm going to use a pencil brush just to smoke this out. So then I'm taking the number 9 pencil brush and I'm just softening that edge by smudging it back and forth. Absolutely love that kind of like smoky liner effect. I think this is a really good option when you're in a rush because obviously you don't want to be standing there trying to get each liner very equal or even or getting stressed. I know how that feels when you're like rushing to get ready. By going for like a bit more of a smoky liner, you're taking that stress away, make a really dramatic look, but you don't have to be too perfect. Once you've got that line nice and smoky and kind of blown out, it's time to add depth back to the closest part of the eyeliner. So I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution liner. This is like a liquid felt tip liner, and I'm just going in as close to the eye as I can get. So the effect it will have, it will make a really strong shadow here, and then it will smoke out where you've put that gel liner, and that will just give you like a really nice soft effect. So I'm moving on to skin next. I'll come back to the eyes at a later point. That's just because I don't want to blend my concealer too high and ruin all my work on my eyes. So if I do my skin next, that avoids that. So for date night, obviously you want to be super glowy and lit from within. So I'm going to go in with a Unistrobe liquid illuminator. This is in the shade Deity. And I'm just going to pop this on my cheekbones. Just a couple of dots. This stuff is so pigmented, you really don't need too much. I like to put a little bit on my forehead here, just on either side, and a touch just on the top of my lip. I'm taking a sponge and I'm just going to blend that out. You can see how pigmented this stuff is, and it sits so beautifully on top of foundation. But when I want that lit from within kind of look, I like to do it underneath. And you can see how much glow that gives you. Maybe a bit too much glow. There's never too much glow. And over the top of that, I'm using the Illamasqua Skin Base in 8.5. Normally I use a brush for foundation application, but today I'm going to be using a sponge because obviously a sponge is a lot faster, and if you're really trying to get ready for date night, then a sponge will do it a lot quicker than a brush. I do think it's quite therapeutic though, kind of hitting yourself in the face with a sponge. Is that just me? So going in with my concealer, I'm using the Too Faced Multi Sculpting Concealer in the shade Vanilla. And I'm just taking that underneath the eyes. And this is why I didn't want to do the underneath my eyes, because obviously I'd have to work around what I'm going to do underneath. So if you put the underneath on and then you do the concealer, you have to work very, very carefully. And obviously if you're in a rush, you're not going to be able to do that. Just being careful when you get to this kind of area where you've like blown out your liner and your shadow. Just blending that in with the Beauty Blender. Super fast. If you blend your concealer too far up and you do make a little mistake and go over where your shadow was, you can just take your brush again and just lay it back over the top just to blend it out. And I'm just taking the Perfectly Sculpted palette in the lightest shade here on my Beauty Blender and just popping that straight underneath the eye, and this will just brighten and smooth the underneath of the eye. Just make sure there's absolutely no creases in there, because obviously if you set on top then you're going to set your creases into place and they'll just look like wrinkles. So it's really important to get them like nice and smooth before you put the powder over the top. I've lightly set the rest of the face with the powder, but I haven't put too much on the sponge because I don't want to get rid of that glow completely. I really want the skin to be like lovely and glowy and lit from within. Going in with the same shade that we used in the eye socket and a number 1 face brush, I'm just going to warm up the face, including the cheekbones. I'm not doing a full contour here, just warming up my face a little bit and adding definition back into the skin. Concentrating on the apples of my cheeks. Just going in with a little bit of blush now. I'm taking this kind of muted colour from the Makeup Revolution palette. I'm taking this on a number 8 face brush and just popping a touch of that on the apples of my cheeks. You don't want anything too pink here because obviously you're going in with like quite a strong lip. So something kind of muted and nude. Just adding in a little bit of powder highlighter from the Oh So Blinding palette. I'm going to take the shade Pixie Dust, which is this one here. And I'm using a number 4 eye brush just to run that over the apples of my cheeks. If you want to see a full swatch video of this palette, we did do one last week, so I'll make sure to link that above. Just popping a little bit of that above the brow as well, down the centre of my nose with my finger. I'm going to quickly mist my face with a little bit of Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. And then once that's all dry and set, I'll go back to the eyes just to finish them off. Taking the bronzy shade from the Perfectly Sculpted palette again, I'm just running a little bit underneath my eyes using the number 5 eye brush, which is a medium-sized fluffy brush. This just gives a little bit of definition to the under eye without it looking too strong. And then again with the slightly darker shade, I'm going in with a pencil brush and just blending that in even closer to that lash line. Just topping that off with a little bit of mascara. This is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. You could definitely add lashes to this look if you wanted to. Being in a rush, you probably wouldn't have time to sort lashes out unless you're an absolute wizard. Fair play to you. But for me, I would just keep it really simple and just use mascara. If you saw my 5-minute makeup video, you probably know what I'm on about when it comes to lashes. I mean, it was an attempt. We'll just say that. And I'm just going to pop that on the bottom as well. And then finally we're on to lips. I'm just going to use the Air Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Chili Pepper. And I think this is the biggest tip when it comes to making a quick impression with your look. If you can put a bold colour on your lips, I think it always brings a look really together and looks like you made a lot of effort, even if you've only got a small amount of time. The great thing about the Air Matte lipsticks is that you don't need a lip liner. They've got a super precise wand on them, so it's really easy to control where the product's going, and they give like a really crisp pigmented line. So that's the finished look, guys. I hope you really enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. It really helps our channel out. For this week's giveaway, we are actually going to give you the choice of what you want to win. So to be within a chance of winning, all you have to do is go and visit Jolie Beauty, pick any product from our site, and then comment below which one you'd like to pick. The winner will be drawn at random, and we'll be drawing the winner on the 20th of February. So good luck everyone. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and make sure to join us in the next one.